Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I am joined, as always, by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
That's so true. That is your name, isn't it?
Yeah.
One Piece chapter 1070. Into the
powerful
70s now. The 70s now. Very interesting. We've come so far.
Yeah,
It's good to have you back.
It's almost like the 10th time we've been in the 70s for this of the 100s. That's crazy.
Technically, it's the 11th time. Because you had 70, and then you had like
damn,
100, 170, 270.
I'm stupid.
No, you're
stupid.
good. You're good. It's like an easy mistake
sorry.
to make.
Yeah,
It's good to have you back. Good to have you back.
I know. I was gone for the past two episodes. I feel bad. One of them, I just was legitimately busy, and the other one, I don't remember where I was. But
it's fine. One of them became the most viewed One Piece episode, and the other one became the least viewed, so it averaged out to average. So.
Damn. Okay.
I guess. I think we're still good.
But yeah,
chapter 1070. I love this one. It was a really good chapter.
Yeah, it's the continuation of what's it? I'm blanking on his name. How could I forget Vegapunk? Yeah, Vegapunk trying to escape the island. Last chapter, Lucci showed up 2 chapters ago, and then he instigated the fighting like last chapter, and Luffy's been fighting him, and the fighting is going as you'd expect, fighting Luffy with the awakened fruit.
Is funny.
And the last thing that happened was Sentomaru got attacked, and we found out that Sentomaru's grandpa is Vegapunk.
Well, not like his grandpa, like grandpa.
Or not grandpa's.
It's like you saved him, so he's like his grandpa.
Like his grandpa.
All good. So, title page.
All good.
Saul good. That's so true. Better Call Saul. That's so true. All right, title page.
The title page.
Title page.
Cool. I like this one.
They're kind of dripped out, honestly.
But his head is just.
It's not as massive as it has been. So this is obviously a younger Vegapunk.
Yeah.
So here we have Queen on the far left. I believe that's Queen, anyways. Looks a lot like a young Gecko Moria. I wonder if there isn't some relation there or something. Somehow. Then there's Caesar Clown, Vegapunk, Judge, who kind of looks like Sanji, which I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Sanji takes more after his mom, though. And then we have the mysterious woman, who I originally thought was Dr. Kureha, but I have since read, Kyle, I believe that this is Stussy, the female CPO agent, because she's mentioned how she's been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Like how she's been to Punk Hazard before.
Could be.
So I think it makes sense. I could see it being a couple of different people. Kureha or Stussy being the two main things there. So, getting directly into the chapter, Luffy going after Sentomaru saying, "Battle axe, sorry, I didn't mean to distract you."
His eyes bugging out.
It's just like do not be afraid, sir. This is the scariest moment of my life. And don't estimate me. I saw his attack coming more on. I thought I blocked it. That's interesting. So you're tough. I need you out of the picture. You got Rankus in the command hierarchy. Oh, okay. I see what this is. This is a confirmation that Rob Lucci has the hockey that can go through stuff.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what this is anyways. I'm pretty sure.
Like Ryu?
Yeah. Like Luffy learned in Wano.
Ah, sweet.
I guess that's confirmation that he has that.
They
or
really
maybe
gave
it's some separate leopard ability. I don't know.
They really did give Lucci the off-screen power up, but it doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah, and at least he's still getting folded by Luffy. That's what matters.
Getting folded like a chair.
That's what matters. As long as you're conscious, we can't use the Seraphim. So Lucci is trying to take out Sentomaru, and then Luffy uses a new thing, Booming White Whip. That's the translation they went with, anyways.
I like Booming White. I think Booming White sounds cool.
Yeah, I think after reading everything they wrote about why they chose the word white, I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of expecting the Booming Doom whip from Viz.
Side note, you remember whenever we first got Gear 5 and people were like, oh, it's Super Saiyan ripoff. It's it has blonde hair, and then it literally didn't.
Yeah. No, dude, I love Gear 5 so much.
Gear 5
literally my favorite power-up in anime.
It's so good.
So here he's using it. He's spinning like the tornado funny. Oh, I can't slow
And then-
down. We get funny chopper. Hurry, Luffy. We've got to get the Vegapunk past. We have any hope of saving this kid. They're still trying to save Atlas, which is really nice. Because Atlas got folded. She said, I spun too hard. I can't stop. That's so true. And we get to a funny chopper panel I think you wanted to talk about, Kyle.
Yeah, well, the thing was, when I first read this, because... And I understand... Eden saying what I'm about to say, I understand that these gag reactions like this, they're just common. And not only that, we've seen them happen outside of just being around Luffy. But I thought, like, wouldn't it be cool if the in-universe reason for like why a lot of these like over-the-top gag reactions happen with the Straw Hats is just like a side effect of being by Luffy because of Luffy's fruit. Like, we know the true nature of it now. So like all those times where like characters' eyes like bug out of their head, or like they have like the big over the top reactions. Like what if it was just, you know, a side effect of being by Luffy? That's what that. I mean, it's probably not the case. Probably not the case because we've seen them in like a bunch of different flashbacks.
I don't think it'll ever be not confirmed.
But it is food for thought. It is food for thought.
It's interesting. It's definitely a way to look at things. I like it.
Yeah. And then we see a little bit of the Seraphim Mihawk and the Seraphim Jinbei.
Yeah, good old
and
Jimbos.
oh god! And then we get. Oh, sorry, no, we're not there yet. And then we do get. This is another point I want to talk about because Frankie sees that and he's crying. He's like, "Oh no, he's the swim fruit guy. They fucking killed him." And then Vegapunk says like, "Oh, they probably just made a copy of his fruit."
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's at least how Frankie words it.
Uh-huh.
And so we get we get an explanation as to like the three different ways of how like copying fruits works. Like with Zoans, you can
they can just copy the fruit, right? They can make an artificial Zoan fruit, and we saw that with Momonosuke. That's just straight up artificial Zoan.
And with Logia's, all we get is Vegapunk saying that they were trickier. But there's an alternative for Paramecia's where if you can synthesize their blood and transfuse that blood, you can you can have multiple people with the same Paramecia power.
Yeah,
I think that's interesting. How they're moving away from like the mythical aspects of devil fruits and like breaking down the science behind them. I think that's
so it's also interesting how devil fruits like canonically have something to do with your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like it canonically changes you on some level that your blood then carries that power to some degree.
So you can, in theory, you know, in One Piece terms, scientifically synthesize it. And then Brandon, do you just want to talk about the next thing?
And then we get to see Seraphim Hancock using her power on people.
And Brandon, you looked it up right before recording. What was the official description for how Love
of the Love Mellow of the Love fruit, right? Specifically Love Mellow. It can turn people to stone if they feel lust towards the user. She's a kid. She's a child.
Anyway,
she's a child. She's a child, and it worked.
There's nothing else to say here.
I don't think Oda was trying to say anything by it. I don't think he meant anything by it. I just think he didn't notice. I really just think he didn't notice. He was just like, oh, she could use the same powers as Hancock. She could just turn people to stone. I think he forgot the lust part. I hope he forgot the lust part.
He forgot the implications of love. You know, he forgot the concept of love. Hang on. We have to act Cade to get in here.
Funny Cade moment. Funny Cade moment.
Funny Cade moment.
Funny Cade moment. Is Cade moment about to get here? No freaking way. I don't believe for a single second that Cade's going to come in here. Dude, I can't believe that he could have forgotten about that. Cannot believe that he could have forgotten about the possible.
I'm gonna leave call for a second. I'm just gonna go scream at him concept of love. Then I'm immediately gonna come back. Okay.
Of course. I cannot wait. Okay. Yeah. And now it's just you and me, chat. Until Kyle joins back in a second. After screaming concept of love at Cade. In case you don't know, it's a reference to Jet Set Radio Future. And in Jet Set Radio Future, there's a song called Concept of Love. It's actually pretty good. Jet Set Radio Future being Cade's favorite game. And it's a pretty good one. I was playing it the other day with him. We were recording for Goobers.
This is a One Piece chapter review.
Okay, you're back. You didn't tell me you were back. I was filling the void so I don't have to edit this video more than I have to. Right. I'm working on my special secret project that no one can know about.
We're professionals here. Anyway.
And moving on from Boa Hancock.
Yeah, we see the little baby Kuma using Ursa Shock, and we see Vegapunk saying that the Seraphims are the culminations of his ideas. They're the peak of what science can accomplish. They may very well go down as the most powerful beings in the history of the sea. They are very powerful.
They're insane.
Like I cannot believe with the birth of what was it, the little baby Mihawk that Shanks became the third strongest swordsman.
That's so true. Push
And
Zoro
then,
down to 4th place.
And then Nami reinforced, like, hey, that's why they abolished the... Wait, you say Nami?
Move Zoro down to 4th place.
Oh, Zoro. Yeah, they said Nami. I was about to say Nami. As Nami says, that's why the warlords were abolished, and, you know, Usopp's freaking out, and we get some other reaction with the Straw Hats, and then we go back to the fight, and we see Lucci trying to finish off Sentomaru before Luffy just does more funny Gear 5 stuff.
I think that's a Dragon Ball reference. There's a panel I saw of someone comparing that to a Dragon Ball panel where like Frieza's head comes out of the ground and like does something to Goku. Like they're very similar. And I'm pretty certain the goggles later are a Dragon Ball reference. Because there was some tweet came out, it was like Peak copying Peak. Or Peak mirrors Peak or something. You know how Twitter is.
Well, the first one has to be Peak. I'm sorry.
He takes a big bite. And then Luffy goes up, spits him out after he bites him. He goes up, bounces off of something that he stretches with
like a metal tube. This moment looks incredibly painful. I was saying that to Brandon earlier. Like he stretches against the tube, puts on little cloud goggles, hits him with this thing called Booming White Rocket, and oh god, his entire back just bulges out of his chest, and it looks incredibly painful.
Now, we saw Kaido take plenty of hits like this and, like, I mean, not be fine, but we saw him take more than one.
He got punched through the head.
That's just more of a testament as to just how insane Kaido is.
Kaido got punched through the brain, and his face got scrunched in.
Mm-hmm. What insane power, and he's like, he's laughing as he does. Hurry this way, the vacuum rocket is waiting. Hurry in this. So this is the first time I think we've seen one of the Seraphim speak. So the Seraphim can speak. They are capable of independent thought, which again just makes it insane. Yeah,
they also share, similar personality to the originals that they copy. Because all Jinbei does is say like, "Oh, you have my gratitude. It's nice to see a second kind version of yourself." She goes, "You insolent dummy! I'm just following orders."
But Baka.
You baka. That's something Boa would say, and then they get on the little transport device, and we see Sentomaru saying like, "I'm trusting you with Grandpa Punk," and then they take off in the tube. Also, Bonnie comes to.
Finally.
Yeah, and then we see Luffy become really, really drained of energy.
He's a bit tired. It does drain him a little bit. Using the power does drain him a little bit. As we saw in the middle of the Kaido fight, and he came back.
Mm-hmm.
So fast. Where are we? Where's Vegapunk? You come too? Who the hell is this supposed to be? It's a long story. That's Luffy, but let's save the explanations for later. I didn't notice that the first time I read. Look at her face.
Yeah, she's just freaking out.
That's good. Approximate journey was 32 seconds. Inside the lab, we reached your destination. You can see Atlas taking up a huge amount of space in the back there because Atlas is like half dead. Deer Dorm has been fortified. Vegapunk couldn't ask for a better bodyguard. This is a real pity. Sentomaru orders are to wait for the Marines. If we wait too long, they'll get away. So here now they have control of the Seraphim.
No. How is Lucci walking after that? I'm sorry.
He's just he was taken out of his zone. We don't know how long it's taken. It could have been a little bit of time since he got knocked out. We don't know. They could have been.
And then
Luffy wasn't fighting him seriously, right? He wasn't even serious. He wasn't even serious. He know this. He know this, Luffy.
Guys, you can power scale Tom and Jerry. You can power scale One Piece.
That's so true. Here we go. You really want to come aboard our ship? So Vegapunk is coming with. And then, where are you going, Bonnie? I'm going to make Vegapunk turn my dad back to normal. If he refuses, he's a dead man. And then we see CP0 does have control of the Seraphims. Well, let's see one of those rats scurry off the island. The Straw Hat crew. And then we see Adam Sandler at the end being like, "Uh-oh, I'm threatening. I'm an admiral. I'm threatening." I wonder if this is the arc where Luffy finally takes down an admiral.
I would like to. I could easily see him taking down Kizaru.
Honestly, I think if Oda is the GOAT, and Oda is often the GOAT,
Goda.
we see a very serious Luffy versus Kizaru fight. Because he's bested an emperor, right? Luffy's an emperor, right? He's bested an emperor. Let's see him best an admiral. Let's just see him do it. Let's just see him do it.
I want to see him grab. Imagine if he's flying around at light speed, Luffy just grabs light, and then we showed that to Cade.
That's so true. That's because he will. If he fights Kizaru, he will grab light.
He's gonna grab it.
Uh-oh. and then that's the chapter. Yeah. No, I think that'd be so sick. And I think Kizaru is of the current three admirals. I think Kizaru is the best bet. Because we're going to get the Aokiji fight with whoever, if it's Luffy or not, or Robin or wherever, whenever Blackbeard, right? Because Aokiji is one of the Blackbeard pirates now. He's the 10th captain.
Yeah, and then we got Akainu, which we know Luffy's probably going to fight him later.
Akainu is going to be pretty in-game.
Yeah.
So I think Kizaru being the last of the original admirals, being the one that Luffy beats, is like, okay, like Kizaru was serious, and Luffy beat him. Because Luffy wouldn't have a reason to fight seriously against Fujitora. And Green Bull, it'd be like, okay, well, Green Bull's just weak. But like, we know Kizaru. So if Luffy was going to defeat an admiral, I think Kizaru is the best choice.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see. I hope we get to see it because that'd be a very fun fight. The question is that going to be this arc, or are we going to Elbaf and he fights on Elbaf?
I'd like to say this could be the ending of this arc. If anything, that'd be cool for this ending.
It could be. I don't think it would be as big of a fight as Luffy versus Kaido.
Oh, of course not.
Because Luffy versus Kaido, I think, will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest fight. And I mean, not like just in terms of like everything that was built up to war. Luffy versus Kaido is a big fight in One Piece. That is my statement on it. Luffy versus Kaido is one of the fights in One Piece.
It is the most fight of all time.
It is one of the fights of all time. And it'll be interesting to see how in the future, I think Luffy versus Akainu is going to be huge. I think Luffy versus Blackbeard is going to be huge, like phenomenally huge.
Yeah, I wonder if we're ever going to see any of the previous gear stuff again, because, I mean...
Well, the thing is, like, Luffy can do gears 2, 3, and 4, but, like, without the drawbacks.
Yeah.
And it's stronger.
Because, again, we know Gear 5 turns him like a shriveled prune for a time. So, like, in a battle of, like, a long-lasting battle, like when he fights Emu, because that's going to happen, and Emu just pulls out the god fruit, because he synthesized the blood of a god, it's going to happen.
I like the idea that Emu has the water Logia. I think that's a relatively... It's a relatively common idea, but I like it.
Because he could like control the sea then.
Yeah, you can control the sea. It's the one like basic Logia that like you think like, oh, can't wait to see the water fruit, but then you're like, oh wait, how powerful would that be, right?
Yeah.
But
just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. This was a very good chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. We have a break next week. The next chapter comes out on the 6th. It'll be a little bit before the 6th. But yeah, and then we have a break after that. And then we come back with another chapter after that. So we have break week chapter, because it's weird schedule with 1, Oda's break, and then 2, like Shonen Jump breaks. So
because the holidays to date this episode.
Yeah, but we do have a Chainsaw Man chapter next week.
Chainsaw
Man. That's so true.
Yeah, this is a good chapter, and I enjoy talking about it. I'm excited for 1071.
Yeah, so if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something like. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us what your favorite part of the chapter was. And the next video to come out might be my special project, because I'm planning on finishing that tonight, or it could be Chainsaw Man. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And we will see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.